We are here this evening particularly to discuss on two agendas. There is the Grade 4 post and the educational drive which the Angami Students Union has taken. I would like to give the rest of the time to my other members.
As per the state government Office Memorandum number Article 3 General 174/2007 dated 26 October 2017, order that the appointment of grade 4 post shall be filled by the respective indigenous of the district only. Similarly, the union had issued a press release on 15 June 2023. Likewise, we had given a representation to Commissioner Secretary on 7 July 2023. But since there was no response from the government, the union once again reiterate to the concerned authority and reinstate the indigenous right as per the order of the government.
We have received complaints where bureaucrats and politicians have been trying to make appointments where the indigenous inhabitants are being deprived of their rights. But in this concern, the concerned authorities should be well aware that the Angami Students Union will not tolerate or entertain such cases. So the Angami Students Union appeal the concerned authority to 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 not entertain such cases. And in line with the educational drive where the Angami Students Union has taken, we would like to take this opportunity to appreciate our advisor for school education and SART, Government of Nagaland, Dr. Kekri Hyole, for reshaping the educational system. We are happy that he has taken a bold step to revive the education system. In this regard, I would like to give the rest of the time to our educational secretary for further deliberation.
Good evening. First of all, we are thankful for this platform. We would like to talk about the educational drive which was taken in the month of June. And yes, as our team took over the Angami Students Union, the new tenure under the presidency of Kasamale David Mere, we have started the educational drive, and it took up till July. So June and July, we underwent through some research and some data collection. So our educational drive is with the intention to have ground zero report around all the institutions. It is to foster education quality, and we would like to check on the student, the infrastructures, the teachers, and within our jurisdiction, and it is with the intention to bring up the grassroots result and take it to the concerned department for the next progress work, which will be for the betterment of the students and their education. So here we have underwent some surveys, and the Angami Students Union has surveyed 70% of the schools through our educational drive under recognized Angami villages and Angami Students Union, which was carried out during the month of June and July, as I've stated. So during this educational drive, the union detects certain discrepancies and our area of concerns that requires immediate attention. In respect of these concerns, the union will be submitting its detailed report and representation to the Department of School Education very soon. So with this press conference, we wish to highlight some pressing issues which invites for remedial measures. First of all, it will be the shortage of school uniforms. So here I would like to deliberate some of the grievances that we have received from the grassroots level. The uniforms, it comes with the ready-made uniforms. Some they get materials. So as per the grievances and the survey, some materials are shortage to some students. They are in shortage, and the uniforms which come in ready-made are not in the actual sizes of the students, and some they may have it may come in a monetary form as well for the uniforms. So here we would like to highlight, if it's uniform, we want it to be very precise, because the students, they deserve the uniforms in materials, and they have the right to get the materials according as per the students in the institutions. And the next will be the staff quarters. So as our survey, some quarters are there in some institutions, but there are some poor facilities as well, which needs proper staff quarters for the teachers who are not from the area, from the village. Some teachers, they come from different area to teach. So it will be nice if the concerned department can provide staff quarters for the teachers, so that they can give good education to the students, as it will be attendance of teachers and students as well. That will be providing good education. We have insufficient classrooms as per the infrastructure, and we would like to take this to the concerned department as well, that they will be provided classrooms, proper classrooms as per students. And when it comes to infrastructure, there is some grievances regarding the boundary wall and for protection. Some walls and some schools are not well built. So what happens here is, some students, they will be sneaking out from the back of the class due to poor infrastructure, and they may be bunking classes as well. So here, education matters. So it will be nice if the concerned department can look after the infrastructure and build proper infrastructure with proper classrooms for the students as well as for the teachers, staff teachers.
Here, the Angami Students Union, we are very clear, and we want to reaffirm and reiterate our stand that all the grade 4 posts under district officers, it has to be filled up by the indigenous inhabitants of that particular district. Like my president have shared, we have received information where some non-indigenous people are running about getting the appointment against this post where it is meant for the indigenous people. Therefore, on receiving these informations, we have apprised the concerned authorities and the department not to continue such doings. Also, through this platform, we appeal to our indigenous people to be vigilant on this matter and report to the authorities and also to the Angami Students Union on cases where the rights of our indigenous people are being deprived. Angami Students Union, as mentioned, we have apprised this matter to the State Chief Secretary, where we have submitted a representation. In that representation, we have clearly mentioned that whatever belongs to us should be given to us. And failing to do so, the Angami Students Union at any point of time will be ready to go to any extent where justice is delivered to our people. At the same time, we have appealed the State Secretary to kindly redirect all the departments to abide and adhere to the Standing Office Memorandum which our Vice President has mentioned. Therefore, in regard to this grade 4 post, Angami Students Union, we are very serious. We will continue to be vigilant in this matter. We are also of the information that many appointments have been done against the backdrop of these indigenous rights. So we are continuing to gather the information as and when we have the requisite information. We will take up certain measures whereby we shall reinstate the rights of our people. The Angami Students Union, as we have learned from our Education Secretary, we have went for an educational drive. Now this drive was a month-long educational drive where we have collected ground zero reports. Now this evening, through this press conference, we want to sensitize and aware our people that these are areas where it needs our attention and concern as well. Because of all these discrepancies, we cannot blame the government alone, but we, the public and the concerned, unions or bodies are also to be equally responsible, because over the years perhaps we have failed to be active on certain issues, or why it has escalated to such a point where today these are the grievances and problems we are facing. The ASU, the intention of us about bringing these issues in the public domain is not to create an issue out of these matters. However, as mentioned, we want to aware our people that these are the grievances our students are facing, particularly on the issue of shortage of teachers. As per the UDISC reports, we have around 18,000 teachers, whereby over the years we have been hearing that there are more than 10,000 excess teachers. The ASU, we are going about this educational drive. We could not cover all the schools of the Angami villages because of the fact that some of villages do not have student bodies. But at least 70% of these schools which comes under the Angami villages, we have went about for this educational drive. And from these, we could ascertain that there are at least 114 plus shortage of teachers in these schools. Therefore, there may be, as per the state record, there may be excess of teachers. However, as for the schools and institutions in the Angami villages, it is evident that there is shortage of teachers, and therefore, while we shall be submitting our representation to the government and department, through this platform, we want to appeal the department and the authorities concerned to kindly do the needful at the earliest. As for now, the Angami Students Union is not giving any deadline or ultimatum in respect to all these issues, because we feel that we have to collectively bring about these remedial measures and changes. But in due course of time, the Angami Students Union shall again go for a ground zero report, checking, and a drive. And during that time, if the union finds that the department and the government have failed to attend to the grievances that the ASU is presenting today, then the Angami Students Union may be compelled to take certain steps and measures where it will be uncomfortable for the department and the government as well. Like it is mentioned, the Angami Students Union is of the opinion that we have to go for quality educational institutions rather than quantity educational institutions. As per the UDISC reports, we have 1,939 government schools in the state of Nagaland, of which more than 150 schools falls under the Angami Villages. That concerns us. And now we have come to learn that even for the uniform materials, sometimes it is insufficient. Sometimes they bring ready-made uniforms where it does not fit to the students. And more importantly, the shortage of teachers have led to a certain point of dilemma in the institutes, because a teacher who teaches science, for example, is made to teach social science because of the absence of social science teacher. So in that manner, the teachers are being overburdened, and that is one area where we are concerned. But at the same time, the students are being deprived of their rightful teacher to teach for the right subject. So a collection of all these issues have brought the Angami Students Union to this press conference. And we feel that it is time the Department of School Education undergoes rationalization of schools. And in this aspect, the Angami Students Union, wherever and however our participation is required and involved, we are ready to extend our support and cooperation in the process of rationalization, so long it benefits the students' fraternity. Apart from the school education, even for the higher education, the Angami Students Union, we are aware that with the introduction of choice-based credit system and the introduction of new education policy 2020, there is more need of teachers. And today, the Angami Students Union would like to appeal the Department of Higher Education as well to thoroughly and properly assess the requirement of teachers and at the earliest recruit them through open advertisement, that is a Nagaland Public Service Commission. We are hopeful that through this educational drive, the Angami Students Union will be more active in involving ourselves towards promotion of the state educational system. Now, with the new education policy in place, the importance of modern Indian language has become more important than ever. And as per the policy, the three language formula invites for giving importance to the modern Indian language. And therefore, we would like to appeal the department to introduce the India subject as an optional subject in all the schools that confines to our community, because in the process of this new education policy, as Tenidia being our local dialect, we will require to take this subject as one of our papers to pursue our studies further effectively. And talking about Tenidia, through our educational drive, we have gathered reports that in schools where Tenidia is offered as a subject, there is no Tenidia subject teacher. And so the department must sincerely recognize this issue and immediately send Tenidia teachers to teach Tenidia, because we cannot expect any other teacher to come and teach a linguistic subject, because it confines to a particular community or a particular tribe. So these are the nutshell information of the educational drive. We would like to present it to all of us, and through this platform we also appeal our respective school management committees and the village councils to be vigilant on issuing no objection certificate when teachers come asking for transfer with post, because we have seen instances where teachers have taken their transfer along with the post, and at the end of the day that particular school is left with no subject teacher of that particular subject, and we have faced various problems. These are the grievances that the students fraternity is facing today, and the Angami Students Union, we feel pertinent that in order to uplift the higher education, we must also focus on the school education sector, and accordingly we shall collectively upgrade the higher education. So this is all about the educational drive we have had.
In the Angami Students Union is also in zero tolerance with the proxy teachers. We also appeal the concerned teachers to voluntarily detach themselves from attachment of teachers with politicians, and zero tolerance with transfers of posts. And in this regard, we also appeal the SMC and the VCs not to issue any NOC.
To be precise, we have received complaints from various departments, but there are few in those departments. But the major complaints we are receiving is from the Department of Road and Bridges, Mechanical, Housing. So these departments, we have received numerous complaints from these departments. So
of course, we have evidence with regard to a few departments he has stated. So in that course of time, we have given a representation to the engineering chief, to the concerned department.
we have received some applications that were in process, whereby the politicians have recommended to appoint them against the grade 4 post which is meant for the indigenous. And accordingly, some secretaries and joint secretaries of the concerned department have forwarded the same to the respective departments. So these informations we have in paper. However, we may not disclose it today because we also feel for the applicants as well, because now as all of us are desperate looking after for jobs, perhaps some are not well aware about all these memorandums and regulations of the officers. So as for now, we do not intend to expose them. But yes, we have received not only complaints but evidences, and it is in the custody of the Angami Students Union.